There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonko table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonko table, the table that will make their dreams come true.
Yo, folks, welcome to the latest and the greatest from the Yonko table. That is the voice of Grandmaster Hoop coming at you from the what do they call it? The board of directors at Godolphin University, because we're out here trying to find the next member of the Seven. That's right, folks. We are here to discuss The Boys, Gen V. Yes, that's right, Gen V, the spinoff series to Amazon's The Boys. And goodness, I don't even know what we should call it, a spinoff series. This has done something we have rarely seen in media as far as redefining what a spinoff is. But we're going to get into it. But of course, with me, there is fellow Yonko, DrJaceAttorney. DrJaceAttorney, have you submitted your application for Godolphin?
I was in the bottom 30, so no, they rejected my application. I'm not a soup.
Not even a soup.
Not even a soup.
You probably don't. If you're not a soup, you probably don't want to go to God U. That's all right.
Probably not. You're signing your death warrant going there.
Correct. Shoot, you might be signing it wherever you go if you're not a soup. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We are not alone as we deep dive the conspiracies that are stricken this university's campus. Let's see which supernovas will be joining us tonight. All right, let's get into this. All right, Gen V. Let me just preface y'all. It is spearheaded by the same team that does The Boys. This is right from, the team is back. The boys are back. Craig Rosenberg, Eric Kripke, the original creator of The Boys comics run. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg as producers. So this is very much still The Boys. This is not like they passed the baton to some unknown people. Everybody who's involved in the boys is involved here. Let's go back to that thing about that spinoff idea. Does this feel like a spinoff? I feel it does not feel like a spinoff.
No, I think it feels like another viewpoint from The Boys. Like you're still in the same universe. It's a boy series. You're just saying like, hey, we're exploring these other characters, but it's still The Boys. Like it does not feel at all like anything different. And if anything, it's an enhancement, a continuation of The Boys.
Wholeheartedly agree. Dr. Jace, you were shaking your head earlier. What? You don't like what they did here?
I thought what they did was fine. I was shaking my head at another comment. I don't even remember what it was. But I imagine it will come up again as we talk about Gen V. But I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. It's more or less kind of like what you guys were saying. It is more or less an extension of The Boys. It feels less of a spinoff. And more of like, hey, by the way, this is where we left off in The Boys, but now we're gonna.
3.5.
This is season 3.5. Yeah, just with a new set of characters, and I think even during the run of this season, the showrunners have said like, yeah, we're using this as like a launching point to where we end off with Gen V for season 1. That's where season 4 of The Boys will kick off, and then vice versa, wherever season 4 goes, Gen V season 2, which we're getting as well, is going to kick off from the end of season 4 of The Boys, whenever that comes out. So because of that, because they have that mindset with this, that's how it does feel like connected stories in a way. At least I like that it's something completely different that's going on, as opposed to these are just another set of characters that are more or less doing the same thing that the boys were doing, which was like fighting Supes. This one was more or less focused in on, you know,
the Supes themselves,
but like the mystery, the murder mystery, or the student abduction stuff that was going on at God U, which of course then gets, you know, snowballed into the grand plot of the boys, which is the Supes versus the, I guess you call them the normies. The normies.
Yeah. Sure. Whatever you want to call them.
I do have some problems with the season finale because of that connectivity to the boys, and I feel like Grandmaster Hoop has some bias as to why he may like a certain thing that happens. Well,
I don't even know what you're talking about. But we'll get
trust
there.
me. Yeah. Well, once I say it, you're gonna be like, no, that's not it. I swear.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
Don't worry.
Yes. All right. Note. Dr. Jace will bring this up. Apparently, sure. Yes, I am in agreement with you both. You know, I hate to compare other spin-off series, but you know, there's rarely any time the spin-off series run parallel to what's going on. It's always usually out there in left field. My easiest comparison that I can think of, it's like Cory in the House, and that's so Raven. Like Cory in the House is so wildly removed from any type of shit that happened in That's So Raven that it just feels like an entirely different show with two returning characters. Mind you, these are all new characters as y'all stated, but you know, it's just super cool because it is a different perspective. And funny enough, we really never had this perspective of like an all Supes cast within the boys. It's always been, you know, Starlight was your avatar for a good Supe, and then everybody else was relatively bad in a sense. Starlight, Kimiko, and then, you know, every other Supe was either teetering that line or they were just straight up bad. And so we get now this perspective of, you know, how do they begin? Do they end up all bad? Do they end up good? Are you a Starlight? At the end of the day, if you're a Supe, you're either a Starlight, you're either a Homelander, or you're like a Black Noir right in the middle. And I think the show kind of explores that idea to a degree.
Yeah.
To a degree.
I like the expansion to the mythos because the boys I always liked the setup of the boys, the original 1 through 3 seasons, and that I wanted to know how the rest of their world functioned to a degree. Like, you know, how are, you know, with a compound V being pumped into everyone's veins, and if you're a Supe, well, do you just get this god complex automatically? Do you get raised as a Puritan like Starlight, or are you like a psychopath like?
Or are you just like
Homelander?
bred to become like the next Psycho in the Seven? Like,
Right. So like when they announced this show and it being like a college campus, I thought that was actually really cool. Like the concept of it is like, wow, we're gonna change gears a little bit. We're gonna go into the shoes of like these college age students, and it's gonna be a campus that's full of them. And they have like a curriculum that they have to abide by. They have classes to go to. What sort of classes? I think I was more intrigued by the setup of the school more than the direction the story went, especially towards the end. But I'll save that for later. I just like the setup of this. This is the school that Supes go to join the professional force of superheroes in the world of the boys. I like that.
Let's talk about that, because that's literally my next talking point, is that the big thing that separates this from the boys is literally the setting. This takes place at Godolphin University. It is a university for Supes. They're all about building heroes. Do you feel they did a lot with this concept? At times, you know, and I guess, you know, and again, I hate comparing. It's a school for superheroes. So immediately my mind goes to like My Hero Academia. Oh yeah.
Uh,
You have to. My Hero Academia or
Sky
like
High. Sky
Yes,
High did it.
Sky High.
Mucha Lucha did it first.
I don't know about Mucha Lucha because
Don't you dare put some respect on Mucha
Oh,
Lucha.
I don't know about that.
Wow.
I don't know, but
Wow.
those are your parameters. You could throw Mucha Lucha in there. I guess.
It is. It was the template.
Or you know, have you ever seen the DC animated series with all the female superheroes where they all go to school?
No.
And it's like Batgirl and
No.
Wonder Woman.
Oh, we're
it's
like
cute. It's like
it's like
DC Legion
cutesy
of
a little
Superheroes,
bit.
or DC Legion of Superhero Girls.
It's more
cutesy.
recent.
Yeah,
it's more
cutesy.
recent, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I
They
haven't
have, like, a
seen it, but
special-
I've seen clips. I've seen clips
Yeah.
of it.
They got a special that comes out every year, and it's really dumb. Like Cyborg gets A's, and Beast Boy's a class clown, but the main focus is the girls. So,
Right.
like I don't know, Bruce Wayne is like a teacher, but no one knows he's Batman or something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That sounds like shit. Like
it's
let's
it's cutesy. Either way, those are your parameters you're working with this idea of what it means to go to a superhero school.
I kind of liked it because even like in college and all that, they're just like The Boys is known for its depravity. How it just makes everything gross, hypersexual, just like amoral. And college is very hypersexual. All these things.
I'm thinking about the hypersexual stuff.
And they just like throw it in. It's like, how do we just like maximize everything we're known for? Let's make teens now be the stars of the show.
We have to one up the scene in season 3? Was that the one with the where they crawled into the hole? Right?
Oh no, that's like
they're like, we have to one up that. We have to go crazy.
No, and it's just like they one up everything. And I gotta say, like, I give them props how every time we see The Boys, we know something really fucked up is gonna happen. We know it, but we're just like always, they can't top what they did before, can they? And they always do.
There are certain scenes, and we can get into talking about.
Yes, I know exactly which scenes you're talking about.
No, like the penis blowing up, I was grossed out. And then there's the whole Emma when she shrunk down and started.
That one was more funny than so you're just watching like, what is this?
Right. And mind you, they build these things that's not CGI. They build them,
That's so funny.
Which I give them mad props for, but I do feel, I don't know how people are going to take this. I felt maybe they didn't do enough with the university. As far as like, so you talk about
in terms of what aspect?
I feel the only university thing outside of student life that they did was like kind of the class ranking and whatnot. That was a huge thing. Like, where do they rank? Because the number 1 is probably going to be the next member of the 7.
No, but like I think in a lot of they show that the university was kind of a scam. It was a front.
It is
like, because sure, like there are classes and all that, but at the end of it all, everything looks fake as hell. And it's because it is fake as hell. It doesn't seem like it's a university that doesn't seem like a university because it really truly isn't a university. It's a lab enclosure.
I think I know what Grandmaster Hoop is saying.
I feel once they got into go ahead.
I mean, you're about to say it. Once they
got into the mystery, right, that became the focus. Like,
right.
It wasn't like I gotta go to class.
Did you study for this exam?
Right. It wasn't like Queen Maeve is our special guest speaker today's class. I gotta be there.
Which I get it, because like it's in the grand scheme of things, like this is not like the type of story they want to tell, because they want this to kick things off to lead into the grander picture of The Boys that's happening right now. So I like maybe if you extend the episode run by like maybe 2 episodes, maybe you could have gotten episodes just focus on the school life before everything comes crashing down with the main plot. But yeah, I think I got enough from the school, but I see where some people would want, like, oh well,
yeah, I got enough. I got enough from the school.
Yeah.
It's like when I went in to see Gen V, I didn't like university and all that. I didn't expect to see like a full-on school drama. So
Well,
it's like,
oh no, mine is more of an afterthought versus like this didn't bother me while watching. It's more of a, oh wow,
oh okay,
They didn't do that.
like something you know, like something you noticed.
Yeah, just it's like they didn't really fully flesh this out, or what the idea of what it could be, or rival schools. The first episode I think did a great job. There was like the whole demonstrate your powers.
I
which
think
is
that was
giving
the
Sky
most
High.
we got with like the school curriculum. Like, what's the school? What's a day-to-day life in the school without any need of like there's an underground lab and they're experimenting on students. That's all you really get first episode in terms of school activities that are going on.
I think it really wasn't needed after that first episode, because the first episode shows you the facade.
Yeah, at that point,
the first episode shows you the facade, and you're like, oh, okay, and then it breaks it down.
Right. I think you get a different story the longer you hide the facade that's going on. Because they revealed it that early on, it's like, well, great. Now I just want to know what's going on with this. I really don't care about the school life, versus if you go in for like the first 2 or 3 episodes and it's like a mystery, like you feel something is off about the school, but they haven't pulled back the curtain yet. And then episode 2, 3, whatever, then they show you like, hey, there's you were right. You guys were onto something. There's an underground lab in this school and they're doing messed up stuff to these kids. And then, yeah, at that point, okay, now gears have shifted. Now you're focusing in on like the mystery plot. But yeah, now I'm curious what a season 2 is going to do for something like this, because the school element practically seems done.
Yeah, it's done.
Right. So
I feel now the term Gen V just now relates to the next generation of soups that could potentially come up versus the college setting.
Right.
But actually, the more we talk about it, I feel like it sounds intentional, because it's like the big things that are going on in the world of The Boys was showcasing The Boys, versus we meet these kids and we get sprinkles of their past lives, but in the grand scheme of it all, yeah, the school is unimportant as far as there is a deeper mystery, a conspiracy, and let's get into that right now.
The Woods.
Well, it's first Golden Boy, played by Patrick Schwarzenegger,
related
the son
to.
Yes. Are you kidding? Come on, with a name like that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there could be others.
Oh no, it's him.
Wow. Eldest son,
boy.
Youngest.
He's not the bastard.
Oh, wow. That's right. There is.
That was mean for me to say. Let me not say that.
This is not Game of Thrones.
Jesus.
Sorry. Golden Boy. He's number 1 student at Goldokin University. Next in line to probably join the 7. Goes off one day, kills the esteemed Clancy Brown, aka Money, and various other roles. Kills the esteemed professor, and then he melts himself. He blows himself up.
He blows himself up.
Right.
Not sure how that works, but that's what he did.
Something's going on here. And on top of that, who was that mysterious boy that they had to capture? And who are those people that took him away? Just what are the Woods? There's a mystery here, folks. This is a fun kind of You know, Patrick Schwarzenegger, he was not in the main cast, so I was like, oh, he's a big name. He's not in the main cast. He's probably gonna die. Didn't think they killed Clancy Brown so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of him mad fast.
He didn't last one episode.
Yeah.
So right off rip, I feel that's pretty typical. A big death of a well-known icon or somebody kicks off the mystery and whatnot. And eventually from here, I feel gradually the show becomes like they want the main cast to become like Scooby-Doo and the gang. That's what it felt like. It felt like Scooby-Doo meets the boys at a point. And it's like, you got to search for clues. What's going on with the woods? What's the woods? Did you dig the mystery vibes that the show? Because I guess the boys is pretty just kind of hit the ground running plot-wise. You know, and the twists come with the characters versus what's actually going on.
Yeah, like here there was like the element of like, oh, who did it? And then like, oh, we thought you did it, like a red herring.
Yeah.
And then like it throws you off and you're like, oh shit. And like, so it's cool. Like it still has the essence of the boys, but it like mixes it up with like a little bit of mystery in it, which is kind of cool. I like that.
Oh, I think it's good to differentiate between the main and the spinoff.
And while it, you know, it explores the mystery, it also does a really good job of exploring kind of like how fucked up each of the characters are. Like even like the well-intentioned as they may be, how psychologically disturbed or damaged or traumatized they are for X amount of things that could have happened to them.
Oh, we're about that. They're coming up next. Dr. Jace, any thoughts on the mystery aspect?
Oh, I mean, it was good. I thought that was probably its biggest drawing point outside of the school setting, because you don't really have that with the boys too much. Like there is some mystery to the boys, like in the sense of you don't know what's going to happen next or how they're going to solve like this next problem or who's going to appear out of nowhere when they're executing this plan. But this one, more or less, it has it has an end point to where you're like, we have to uncover this actual mystery because we have zero idea what's going on. So I do like that element to it, and it really makes me wonder how they're going to do a season 2 with this.
I think I have an idea of what they're gonna do with season 2, maybe, especially like since kind of like the Gen Vers are going to be they're going to likely play a part in season 4 of The Boys. And because like one thing that we've seen is that all the soups are owned by Vought. Ooh. All the soups.
Right.
Now you have a rogue team of soups.
Let's pause this. We'll come back to predictions, you know, where the story will go. Let's pause because that's a deep conversation. Let's get into this team of rogues as or let's call them Scooby-Doo and the gang. Let's start off with your Fred. Dr. Mondo's background has a great picture.
This is our
of her.
Fred?
This is definitely the Fred.
Our Frederica.
The reluctant leader. Come on, this is Fred.
I suppose.
I guess. Bloody Marie. Is that what we want to call her?
Bloody Mary?
That was what somebody joked. Bloody Mary, Marie Monroe. Goodness, yeah. A bloodbender.
Her powers were cool. Everyone was calling them nasty.
It's quite nasty.
I get
she
why
had to cut
it's
herself.
nasty.
It's nasty, but her like she OP as fuck.
Now, you know, it took her a while to become OP to realize what she could.
Which I mean, like, were we kind of thinking this from the beginning? Like, we were like, there's just no way that she cannot do this, right? Like,
wait, which part?
As in, like, she's doing all this stuff with like her blood on her own, and then you're questioning, like, but you could do more than that, right?
Yeah. If you can control your blood, you can control someone else's blood.
I mean, well, because again, it might be the compound V stuff. You know, she can control it because it's her blood, But the more I thought about it, I'm like,
No, like she demonstrates in the first episode that she can control someone else's blood.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Let's talk about it. 'cause
okay, right.
What a great opening scene.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh god, and I
My
knew where it
God.
was going. I knew where it was
that's
going.
and you know what? That's what the boys universe does so well. You know what's gonna happen.
You're just like, please don't show
Please
this.
don't do this. Please. And then they show, and you're like, oh.
We're talking about the bathroom
no.
scene.
Yes,
Yes.
with her
Okay.
period. Oh no. But
Mm.
yes,
was
in
so
that
sad.
scene, it was. I didn't even think about it until you just mentioned it. But she put a mental block as far as controlling other people's blood. You know, because she killed her parents, unfortunately, with her period blood, and gross. But from there, I believe, the trauma. She only cuts herself. She only was using
No,
her
she
own blood.
Yeah, she only uses her own blood, but like there's another scene in that first episode where you already see her controlling someone else's blood.
Correct, but from that moment, you don't see her do it again, or interact with anybody else's blood until that club scene where they go to the club.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because then I think she's now opening up to her trauma, as far as I can still be I can help.
Yeah, it's like she just wants to say, it's like, yep, I have these powers, I might as well do something with them and like prove my sister wrong and earn her trust and love back.
Which is a big point for her trying to find her sister.
and that's why like opportunity presented itself there in that spot, and she was like, well, yeah, this is like, I have to be a hero here. And she actually was a hero. She showed that her powers don't make her a monster. So yeah, that's the first time we see her kind of like stepping out of her comfort zone when it comes to her powers.
Yeah, and then definitely the penis blowing up.
Oh god.
That was funny.
That was funny, but damn, I was like, for a moment I was like, yeah, like, and then like I see him walking around the next episode. I'm like, bro, what the?
Yeah, how are you walking?
I don't know.
How are you walking? How are you like just casually like not in pain whatsoever?
It's like, dude, what the fuck? It's like they blew your dick off.
Literally, yep. I was like, oh, please, no more of this. I was like, this could just keep going. But Marie, she establishes herself. She's now being viewed as a potential number 1 seat to join the 7. If she joins the 7, she will find her sister. But it's a long way to the top. There's also Andre, the Magneto of the group. He's cool.
He's all right.
By the way, 2 of the cast members were in Sabrina.
They were in Sabrina. Andre and Marie.
And Marie.
Yep.
Wow.
Jazz Sinclair and Chance Perdomo. I was
Look
like,
at that.
okay. I think the acting was fine across the board. I really didn't have much issue. I know Apex, he had issue with some scenes with Marie. I was like, I guess I can see
What?
One in particular in the finale, like, we gotta save him. Like, duh. I don't know. Either way, Andre's a cool character. I guess he's a driving point for figuring out what's going on, because Golden Boy was his best friend.
Yeah, and also he has some guilt there, but we'll go.
He does
about
have
that
some
later.
guilt there. Yeah. There's Jordan, the bigender, which I think is super cool. This idea. I don't even know how you come up with this idea.
What is Jordan's power?
I don't know. That's what
So-
I'm saying.
Is that the gimmick?
No,
We
so-
don't know.
So no, yeah. So if you notice, when he's a boy, he's super strong.
Correct.
But when
Okay.
he's a girl, when he becomes a she, then like she has like these psychic powers, almost that she can just like throw you like
That's
Like-
It's
what
like
it.
concussion blast.
Okay.
concussion blast.
Okay.
So like the powers switch according to the gender.
According to the gender. Okay.
It is listed as Jordan is a gender shifter.
Gender shifter. Okay.
Gender
Yes.
shifter with different powers depending.
Okay. The entire time I'm trying to figure out like what exactly is the gimmick with this, because I did get I knew there was a switch whenever they were going like back and forth between like male female, but like I still couldn't figure out like is the guy just super strength? Is that
It was just super strength.
just
yep.
super strength?
Yeah.
Like no tweaks, no gimmicks, just super strength. Okay.
Super strength.
Okay. Cause like, yeah, I always try to find like what's the detail that sets you apart from like another character that has it. So because like later on in the season, I think in the season finale, you get a scene with like Jordan and Sam and Kate.
Sam is pure like super.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you get a scene with like where like Kate is telling Jordan like, "Hey, I know you could probably take me out, but can you take him?" And she's referring to Sam, who is, like you said, pure super strength. And I'm wondering, like, okay, so like to what scales is this? Like, is Sam Homelander levels, or is Jordan like?
Which is
yeah,
it's interesting because I do feel all soups have a very
they have a baseline strength that's
baseline
above
strength.
the average human. Yes, they do. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Because
and that they're more resistant as well.
yes. Correct.
Right.
Correct. All right. Cool. That's established. Interesting character, Jordan. The teacher's pet, the brown noser.
Right.
Do anything to get ahead. I don't want to say it's an Asian stereotype as far as the best in class and whatnot. And I'm glad they didn't go that route either. They were just more concerned with the gender bending, the parents and whatnot. Romance with Marie, interesting little aspect of their character.
Right.
But at the end, right, Jordan did something bad. We'll get there. The Jumanji episode, I guess that was the big point. There's Emma, the Alice in Wonderland. I thought this was a cool power. Shrinking.
It's Ant-Man.
It's not the fact that it's Ant-Man. It's the fact that she can grow too. I didn't think she would be able
Ant-Man
to grow.
can grow too.
Yes, but it's Alice in Wonderland because she has to eat something like Alice did to grow.
I guess.
I
liked
found
Emma.
it cool.
I liked Emma.
I liked it.
Yeah, Emma's a cool character. She's the social media light. She came from, social media fame, and she was trying to capitalize on that, and people were trying to capitalize off of her. They were attacking many facets of kind of what a student body nowadays looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of like Andre too, he's a legacy.
He was a legacy, the son of polarity, like, oh my God, like you're the big shit. Are you gonna like live in your father's footsteps?
Right.
Almost
right.
like to a certain degree, a Nepo baby. But
yeah, no, absolutely a Nepo baby. Yeah. Then you got Kate.
Ooh, Kate.
Kate. Probably the most powerful of them all.
She gave off Emma Roberts vibes.
Yeah. You could have casted Emma Roberts in that role, and I would have been fine too.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
But this girl did good. This girl
She
did
did
good. Maddie Phillips, she did good. Oh man, a lot to say about Kate a little later on. And then there's Sam. Come on, Sam.
Don't like him.
He's the Scooby.
I guess he is. This is the worst iteration of Scooby ever.
He's the stray. You don't like Sam, huh?
I do not like. Well, rather, I don't like what they did with Sam ultimately by the end, and it's the gimmick they use to get Sam to where they wanted him to be, and I don't buy it. I think it was low-hanging fruit, but we'll get to it when we go into Sam's character.
I mean, from this point, I think, those are the main people. There's the Dean as well.
Dean Shetty.
Dean Shetty. Oh, man, Dean Shetty.
Oh, what? You like Dean Shetty?
I like Dean Shetty.
You didn't watch Bridgerton season 2.
Nor do I intend to. I just like her here.
You're not a real fan. You're not a real fan.
I only watch the good shows.
My chances are better.
Oh, wow.
Mind you, she's married.
Unfortunately.
God, the thirst in this pod.
Hey, they
Listen.
can always thirst over people. Anytime we talk about anybody, you got like people like Dr. Rika. Oh, yes. We can thirst too.
Eternals.
It's all right.
I'm not saying you shouldn't thirst. I'm just calling out an observation. The
Sure.
thirst.
That's fine.
I
You
think
can
Dean
call
Shetty was great in her role, and I wish her the best in her future endeavors.
There you go. There you go. Well, I mean, we're not gonna get into like the nitty gritty of every episode. I think it's very easy. This plot, it very much, Andre basically rounds them together, and they all eventually find their way to.
You don't think Andre's the Fred?
If anything, like Andre is the Fred.
Because when you said Marie, I'm like, Marie?
Fine.
Really?
What? Andre's the Fred because he brought everybody together.
In a way, he did. He kind of did. I see where you were going with in saying Marie was Fred, but I thought Andre. If these are going to be Scooby-Doo archetypes,
So basically, like Andre was Fred, Kate was Daphne,
correct.
We got-
You
Marie
see,
is Velma. Marie is Velma.
You see-
Maria's Velma,
Emma
and
is Shaggy.
Sam is Scooby. Now, like damn, like
Jordan. That makes Jordan Scrappy Doo.
ew, no one likes Scrappy Doo. We actually like Jordan. Make Sam Scrappy Doo. No one likes Sam.
Scrappy Doo. Fine.
Correct.
Jordan. Fine. No, Maria is Shaggy. Jordan is Scooby. There you go. Emma is Velma. There you go.
I guess.
whatever.
guess.
You know, it's fine. We got a Fred.
There you go. We start
Right.
uncovering more and more. Emma does her little sneak in to the woods.
The woods.
Finds Sam. And we will learn what they're just being experimented on, right?
Right.
That's the big thing that we learn. That's kind of the first big thing, right? Students are being abducted. They're being experimented on. Sam is Golden Boy's brother.
Right.
Who Golden Boy didn't even remember. So that's important.
Did they ever explain what students they were capturing? Was it students that were just rowdy, or did they just... They never got into that, did they?
I honestly don't remember. don't remember.
Man,
I don't know if there was a method to the madness.
Right. Because, you see someone like Sam, well, not even just Sam, just anyone that was in that facility and they just seemed unstable. But you don't know if that's because they were put in that facility by force. And so they're like saying, let me out. What the hell? Or were they always like that? Like, were they a problematic student on camp? Because you have to assume everyone here in the woods was a student, right? To some degree on campus, which Sam was too. Was Sam a student?
Yes, I'm pretty sure Sam was a student. Yeah.
It just makes me wonder, like, so then what's the thought process in choosing what, you see what I mean? Like, I'm going to be a lot harsher on this show because I'm asking these questions and I'm like, wait, they didn't touch on this.
They might have. I just can't recall.
I don't think Sam was.
I don't think Sam was at the school either. Like,
No,
I don't think he went.
Because he didn't go. He didn't go at all because, like, the way he reacts when he's in the school, it's like, this is totally new to me. And like,
he's never like been there before.
He's never been there before. He's never done anything like that before. If anything, like, Sam was always kind of like in a facility because of they thought he was very mentally unstable. And it got to the point that they used him and then as like a guinea pig, they put him there under God, the woods, blah, blah, blah. And they wiped his memory, like Golden Boy's memory and everyone else's memory of Sam or who knew Sam. So I don't think Sam was in the school.
Yeah, I don't.
He wasn't in the school. No. Yeah.
Ooh, I honestly don't recall. This is
No, like
a problem.
he wasn't in the school. He wasn't in the school. The flashbacks with Sam were were not him in the school at all. It was like him in a facility.
Yeah, and I mean,
it was because he was mentally unstable.
And like it makes me assume that everyone that's in there is supposed to be mentally unstable, so that's why they took them from the camp. But then if they're abducting these kids, it's like, so then what's going on with like students that go missing that are soups? Is there like, do they put out a fake report? You see, the more that I think about it, the pieces start falling apart like, a little bit.
No, but like that was Kate's job.
Oh, Kate was doing that
everybody
that was Kate's job. Kate was kind of like she blanked everything.
She was complicit in this because they're all fucked up. All these kids are fucked up to some degree.
I guess because we only see Kate doing it personally to the cast that's related. I just assumed, Kate only did it to these specific characters.
Like Kate was the one that whited out everything. She was the whiteout.
Okay, then that kind of explains it away.
The only thing you need to Dean Shetty just needed to bring whichever student to her office. Kate was there, would touch, forget everything. That's all.
Right. I guess that kind of that practically explains away like no search parties, no one knew. It still doesn't at least explain which students they were picking or what the process was.
Yeah, like they don't go into detail as to like, which powers we're exploring, as to like what's their rationale for like this specific student in general for me to test, or if they're just like taking the mentally unstable, like social pariahs to a certain degree, that sure, like Kate can white out everything, but it's very easy for you to kind of spin the story to like let's say outside saying, oh yeah, they were mentally unstable, such and such thing happened, which is kind of like what they
I think I found it. They basically, anybody who had a mental instability was sent to the woods. The woods and the school are separate. They just happen to be on the same grounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it says here, likely due to a combination of his powers and unstable mental state, Sam was transferred to the Sage Grove Center. And that's a separate thing. That's a hospital.
Right.
But then I guess they sent him from there. They sent him to under Godolkin.
Well, that's what I assumed was Sam, because Sam was unstable. Like, he was mentally unstable. I mean, like, all these other characters that are in there as well who are...
Same with them, I guess, at
so
this point.
So it's pretty much, again, like, God U was a front.
I mean, that is what she explained it as, Shetty. She did explain it as, like, the school's there. You're not there to attend the school. The school's there to... observe you.
Well, like and that's an interesting bit because the school is controlled by Vought. This is a veil that was pulled over Vought because the big twist is that these people are experimenting to take down soups.
Right.
You know, they're not experimenting to make Compound B
pretty
better.
Much a veil within a veil.
It's a veil within a veil, correct.
A virus to kill all soups.
It's like a front. Yeah. Wow. A front within a front. Okay.
Because who's going to care if they're experimenting on these Sage Grove inmates or whatever you want to call them, patients, you know, because nobody's going to miss them.
No one's going to miss them. And Vought is not going to look in one of their own facilities.
And that's what happened. It was Sam escaped and ran into Golden Boy. And then Golden Boy started going crazy because he couldn't remember his brother.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is. And again, I think this was a big twist. This was huge twist as far as whatchamacallit. They are trying to kill soups. And then on top of that, Shetty hit up the CIA agent Butcher's contact.
Mm-hmm.
I forget her name. I'm terrible.
I recognize her.
Grace. Yes. Because they're trying to kill Soups. The boys could come in here and use this virus to kill Soups.
And it's not enough. Well, it could be enough, but then you have that bit with what's her name? Newman.
Oh God, Newman.
You already knew. As soon as they introduced her, you knew what she was gonna do.
Yeah. No, but it's like what Billy Butcher would have given to have that virus.
Correct. And not only that is that, you know, they were able to inject it, right? They had that.
They had that bit. I think they got I think they were either working on it or they got to the stage of where it could be contagious.
So it could be contagious via bodily fluids. And
then they wanted to make it airborne.
They want to make it airborne.
Said, was like, make it airborne. He was like, no. That's when like that scientist.
That's where he drew the line.
He drew the line. He said like, I'm gonna kill like thousands. So no. And then Newman. But we also get the development, which I really suspected it even before Marie Monroe. I was like, is Newman like a bloodbender? And effectively she is.
Okay, so this show I think does a lot of good things with the tie-in to the greater boys picture. One, because again, this whole time you're running around with Scooby-Doo and the gang, you're kind of rooting for them to take down the woods, right? You're rooting for them to take it down because they're experimenting on Soups. This is wrong. And then you realize what they're experimenting on them for, which is to take down Soups like Homelander. That is why they go to Grace, because Grace and the boys could use this stuff. And so now you're over here as a watcher, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know who I'm rooting for, you know? And then you bring in a character like Newman, who I love Newman's character because I don't know, it's just such a contrast to everything going on at Vought.
And the thing with Newman is that her true intentions are so murky because she's a Soup that no one knows is a Soup.
The boys know. Homelander knows.
Oh no, now, but like
Huey
I mean, like
knows.
the general public.
Huey knows, right? Huey knows.
Yeah,
I mean
general
the general
public.
public.
General
General
public does
public,
not
okay.
know.
I
she's
mean
a
the
Soup.
general public.
Gotcha.
Because there was that whole
like the
mystery
boys,
where
they
heads were
know
popping
she's a
and no
Soup.
one could figure out like who was doing it.
Exactly.
Right.
And they
it's
never
like,
did.
So she's a Soup that no one knows is a Soup. She's in the like pretty much like an anti-Soup activist. And it's like being a Soup, and you don't know where the hell she stands.
I honestly don't know.
It's like she's playing one, like everyone else is playing a game and she's playing another game. And like she has her own reasons, her own goals, what they are, God if I know, but it's really interesting. And she's a wolf in sheep's clothing. She's terrifying.
She is. And I mean, she did make Homelander bleed. I had to remind Apex of that. Remember, Homelander confronted her and she tried, because he's like, go ahead, try, pop me. You know?
Oh yeah, that's right. And like she did try, right?
She did, and the nose started bleeding.
Her nose started bleeding.
No, his nose started bleeding.
Was he scared or?
No, not that he was scared. It was just like it would take a lot of strength for her to pop it. But if she got the nose bleeding, that means she can at least hurt him a bit.
Right.
You know?
Right. Man.
And that was a big moment. But yeah, no, never did it cross my mind that I was like, oh, her and Marie got the same powers.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it didn't cross my mind at least. Just because at least the extent of her powers was always only shown to be, from what I remember, the head popping. It was just like boom. But then when you think about it, it's like, well, what exactly is she doing to do that? Is she like conflating organs? Is she like doing something messed up with like the bone structure and the body. But now in this confirmation in this show, which I thought this way of doing it was cool, they basically said that she's a bloodbender, just like Marie. They're from what, the same institution, or grew up in the same institution?
They're from the same orphanage,
right?
Or foster home, whatever you want to call it.
Which makes me wonder then, like, you know, they're both, I just like calling them bloodbenders. They're both bloodbenders, but of like different variants. Yeah, because it makes you wonder, like, umbrella. It's an umbrella. Like, you know, Newman's a different branch as opposed to Marie. But then it makes me wonder, like, could Marie technically do the same thing? Like, if she does something with the blood flow,
she did it
right,
with the penis.
right. So
the penis,
the penis,
and then with Kate's arm,
right,
and
Kate's arm, right. So literally same functionality. Oh man, it makes me think that they're the same power too, because Newman cut her hand as well. She brought out blood.
Newman cut her hand and like showed it to her, like, this is what I can do. But
it's different because Newman's eyes
like,
have
you
to
know,
roll back too, you know.
But also knowing, you know, that even with the same superpowers, you know, there are some variations, even like on power scales. That's we saw like with Jordan versus Sam. Like Sam was like super strength versus super strength, but Sam's super strength was better.
Correct.
Like, now it kind of begs the question, sure, you might have the same power, but are they on the same scale?
I guess to determine that, I think, and The Boys does this pretty well. I think the more diluted that particular trait is of your, you know, power, the less, I guess, the less concentrated it is. So like, for example, Sam, her ability, I'm sorry, not Sam. No, actually, well, yeah, Sam. Sam is just plain old super strength. Pure super strength, therefore it's concentrated with Sam. That's why he's as powerful as he is. Versus Jordan, who there's an element to his powers where he does have super strength, but he has also these other abilities where he could turn or switch his gender, and then also
it balances out.
Right, so it's not as his super strength is not as concentrated,
but like the same
as
thing, but like there isn't any like
Sam.
different over difference when it comes. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Newman, did she ever blow a Soup's head off?
I'm sure she has. I can't recall, but again, there's that moment with Homelander. She can, just, you know, depending on their strength, it'd probably take a lot more effort.
I think because Homelander in their universe is like the Superman equivalent. It's just his strength is like top tier. It's like at the upper echelon of human strength.
If you're scaling it, Homelander's strength is what you want to achieve.
Right.
Sam and Jordan are probably a lot lower on that scale.
Yeah.
Like it probably goes Homelander, Soldier Boy, and then other folks.
Right.
Like shoot, even Butcher, when he was taking Temp V, got up there with Homelander.
Oh yeah, he did. I think you have Soldier Boy and Homelander at the same, almost at the same strength wise. Yeah. But either way.
Newman's presence, it opens up a whole, and this is where I think the show gets really interesting. And obviously the boys have done it before. The season 3 was chock full of it, as far as this kind of satirical, metaphorical tie-in to what's going on in the real world.
And I think the boys did it better than what they did here.
It's all the same.
It was nope.
Okay, so let me set it up. Newman, you know, as Dr. Mondo said, they say she's anti-Soup. She's more of just kind of keeping the peace between Soups and humans. Soups don't see it that way. Soup.
Were you gonna say Soup lives matter?
Yes.
Oh my god. I mean, wait, that is what they said, right?
Yeah, that is what.
Okay.
I just don't want to say it because oh man.
Let
me tell you. You know how these things go over some people's heads. Like like right over their heads. They don't see the connection, but it's fine.
It's
fine.
funny. It's funny.
It's funny. No, for us, the viewers, it's funny. The moment I realized Sam was being brought to a rally, I was like, oh no.
Well,
This is...
I didn't even piece it together as like, oh, he's going to a rally. As soon as I saw that red cap on, what's his name, Rufus?
Rufus the Roofier, yeah.
Oh God,
the dickless dude.
Which I think that was a deep cut saying he was a dickless guy and he had a red cap.
Maybe.
And I don't know. I'm just putting the pieces together. I'm just reading what they gave me. That's all I'm doing. But yeah, that it was. I'm trying to think of who. God, what was he a spoof of? Newman commentating with the other
the dude.
Like he's a spoof of someone, and it was on the tip of my tongue. I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, this is clearly like some right-wing news anchor.
Yes, well, I
but who is this? Is this Alex Jones? Like who is it supposed to be?
But even
Fox
Newman.
Fox News.
But even Newman is kind of like a parody of...
Even Newman, Newman too.
They make fun of both extremes. They do.
No, like Newman is kind of like a parody of Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, sure.
Oh, wow, really?
He's a parody of that. Like
well,
a little bit.
I don't want to say a parody, more of a that is who they are alluding to in real life.
No, well, a parody in the sense it's like, well, they made her evil, they made her all that, But yeah, it's like The Boys and Gen V, they love tying in current events in this like fictional world, and it's kind of cool. I really like that.
I love it when they take it here. I think it works so well.
Yeah, because it's seamless. It's seamless,
right?
And it's very believable. It adds I would say an element of realism to a very like fantastical world of superheroes. It adds that degree, like, oh, like this could be our world,
But then I also think it takes it another level because it is a college setting where a lot of young people, that is when they become the most politically active, is on college settings. Like, we see these folks at the free speech line, any kind of folks, they are out there promoting, spouting whatever comes out of their mouth.
If anything, it's like that's like the prime time to brainwash people into into whatever political ideology you want to get them into.
And I thought that worked. Here we go. I know
you know what's coming.
Well, with Sam's
I disagree.
Sam was very impressionable.
No, and I think so too, because this is a kid that technically has been living under a freaking rock. He's a blank canvas.
Yes.
He's a black canvas, but I wouldn't say not fully blank, because he has hate. He has hate, he has these emotions, but he doesn't know who to direct it to. And
Correct.
then like you put him here and you say, these are the bad guys. These are the outlet of your rage. These are the reasons as to why everything in your life has gone to shit. And that's what happens in real life when politicians manipulate people who are afraid, or they're looking for someone to blame, and you give them someone to blame. And that's what they did with Sam. So it's a very believable.
And I said this too. I said it was wrong for Emma to just be like, stay in here, I feel.
Yeah.
I feel they should have stayed together for her to introduce her perspective on things.
And she never
He could not be caught outside.
No,
I get that.
Emma did nothing wrong.
No, she didn't do anything wrong.
She didn't do anything wrong. It is just how it played out is where it could have been countered.
Although her intentions, like she wanted to protect Sam. Like everything she was doing was to protect Sam. Like she was afraid for Sam's life, that they were going to take him away again. But inadvertently, in that sense, she locked him away. She never really explain to her, okay, these are how things work, or
correct.
this is how the world turns, the world spins. She never had the opportunity to do that.
She just got him out of the woods and was like, the woods is bad. We got to take down the woods. Versus,
and again,
there's so much more to the
bad
world.
Luck that she just left for a couple of minutes or an hour, and Sam goes out because he's worried about her. And
he's worried.
Sam, very innocent in the sense that let me go to the rally because she's there. They lied to him and he believed it. He's very innocent, very easy to manipulate.
Go ahead, Dr. Jace. What do you got to say about this whole thing?
It was just circumstance. He was at the wrong place at the wrong time in the perfect time for him to be manipulated and be very impressionable, and that's what happened.
Because he met extremists. He met
extremists. That was the first. Those were the first group of people. He was given all these ideas out of nowhere, and he's like, oh, and then it kind of goes with they
align with the bad stuff.
It's they align. Yeah, they fucked up my life. They're onto something, and boom, that's it. It's not
Dr. Jace, come on, counter this. Come on, what do you have to say?
I just didn't like how he went to one. This was very elusive to a Trump rally. Considering the group of students that were there, and then what ultimately happened. I don't like the fact that it took one Trump rally.
But sometimes it does that.
Which I understand, because that's the message that they're giving. That's the message.
But
sometimes
also,
it does take only that for someone impressionable like Sam to then have that switch, and now he becomes what he ultimately is at the end of the episode.
First and foremost, Sam is a blank canvas.
But what I don't buy is that even though he's a blank canvas, the canvas was starting to paint already with the implications of Emma. Emma started painting that canvas both literally and
we gotta
figuratively.
Get to the finale now. We got to get to the finale.
But painting that canvas. And then it took one instant for that canvas to be smeared in red.
No.
It did.
Because he still has Emma in his mind.
I think, gentlemen, let's before we move to let's move to the finale where these tensions come to what's the term?
A boil?
A boiling point. Sure. They have reached now a boiling point because not only do you have Sam, who's quite impressionable, that we all can agree, there's also the character of Kate. Kate, who, unlike Sam, she accidentally told her brother to keep walking and not come back.
That was messed up.
That was, oh my God. But that's what an origin story. That's a really good origin story. It's super sad. Her mom doesn't even want to look at her anymore.
Does she give off Rogue? Is it Rogue vibes?
Yeah,
Rouge?
very much Rogue. Yeah, yes, very Rogue.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Rogue.
Kate is Rogue. Kate is Rogue.
Well, Rogue mixed with another very strong telepath. Maybe Professor X.
Jean Grey.
Or Jean Grey, there you go.
Jean
Grey.
Oh
my God, yeah. Rogue and Jean Grey.
Yeah, Rogue and Jean Grey. That again, her powers are being subdued. Everything
if you let her, if you unhinge her, she becomes one of the most powerful characters in the series or in the mythos
in the franchise. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
She's honestly a soup that can kill Homelander.
Well, that's the thing is that. The people that she loved outcast her, and then she gets picked up by, regular people to do these heinous acts towards people of her own kind. And they've been saying it throughout, everybody is fucked to a degree. Marie killed her family. Jordan betrayed his best friend. Sam is mentally not there. Emma is being manipulated by her mother. Jordan's parents don't accept her, or them, I should say, and they're all fucked to a degree. But Kate is the one out here, you know, fucking up more people, making them forget like what's going on. They forget a whole day. They forget they had a brother. They forget emotions. And obviously that Jumanji episode, which was really cool. I don't think we've had an episode. So that's the episode they're all in Kate's head.
Oh, okay. Was the episode actually called Jumanji?
Yes, the episode title is
called
That's
Jumanji.
funny.
Yes.
Wow.
Which that one guy died.
Yeah, who cares about him, right?
I was like, where's his body? Is he like in the next dorm room over? Just
Didn't
lying
explain. Didn't explain it.
No, and Soldier Boy being like the voice of reason.
Soldier boyfriend.
Soldier boyfriend. That was hilarious.
Oh, that was
pretty
good.
funny.
He was like, and there's another pop blood vessel. He's like their guide.
How can we bring Soldier Boy back? I know he's on ice right now, but let's bring him back somehow. I thought that was good. That was
really funny.
But so then, so it's like, you know, this rally happens and it's like, do you feel for Kate at all? I mean, because I think Marie does a good kind of moral question as far as, you know, we're so worried about being a good superhero, but are we good people? And I think that's what the show kind of.
Yeah.
I think that's what the
I
boys
bought it
does.
more from
the boy.
Kate.
Yeah, the boys tackles that more, like, you know, that moral grayness.
Sure.
Because it's just like, like, one, the superheroes are assholes, and like, you know, you want to be a hero for the money, for all you want to be a hero for all the right reasons, and like they forget that like the base of it all is just like, hey, you're just a good human being in general.
Correct. Right, because you got all these, you got
that gets lost in the weeds. And like Marie actually asks the fundamental question. It's like, like, are we really good people? It's like, okay, it's like some introspection finally from like these soups. And because honestly, we always are presented with soups being assholes, with the exception of Starlight and Kimiko. The majority of soups are assholes.
Right.
We got some that teeter the line, like
exactly.
Maeve.
There are some that have like some redemption arcs, like Queen Maeve. Like
oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I really like the connection with Dean Shetty and the airplane.
Yes, also that.
Oh, right.
That was like a very nice connection, and it's like one extremist births inadvertently another extremist, because Dean Shetty thought all soups are bad, all soups must die, and in her process, but it's interesting that she did love Kate in her own twisted way. She did, because Kate read her mind, and Kate says, I know you love me. It's like, I know you love me, but I can't forgive everything you did to me.
Don't save her. Don't save her.
And then it's like
rough.
Inadvertently, she births another extremist in Kate.
It's an origin story. It's a great origin story.
It was pretty good. I bought it in Kate. Like I bought the shift in her becoming this you know, only soup lives matter. And it was more than Sam. Because then you have that scene.
That ties into Sam.
You have that
because
scene.
You said like, oh, only one time Sam was influenced. No, that was another time that Sam was influenced right there.
Sam.
That Shetty wanted to do all this crap because of this. Fuck it. Like, they're like, what? Well, they're
Sam's
all bad.
mind was already made up before the Dean Shetty bit. Not only that, then you have the confrontation between Emma and Sam in that I think it was where the director was, that in that auditorium, wherever it was. Let me tell you, I despise this interaction, because everything that came out of Sam's mouth, I was like, I don't buy this whatsoever. Not
Like,
only
Sam
is
was
he
spewing propaganda.
not only
That's
was
literally
he
what happens in real life.
he was literally saying that Emma was not a hero and that she did everything for herself and that it was all a lie. And then I'm thinking back to, didn't Emma like literally go inside of a man's ear and blow out his head in a pool of blood to save you, to have you escape? And then all these hoops and these gymnastics that she went through to shield you, to help you to escape from that facility. And then because he went to one rally and because he's impressionable, he's like, oh no, Emma, you're terrible. You're never a hero, Emma. I don't buy it. It's not enough for me. It's not enough for me.
Like,
you need to do more. You need to do more.
He had doubts. He had doubts after that.
I need more. I need
No.
more. It was one rally. It was one. I needed more.
He had. Well, let's talk about how this all culminates. In a very Regina George-esque moment, where they're just like, let the chaos ensue. They release everybody from the woods.
This was
And
weird too.
I don't
Well,
know.
like you said, they release everyone from the woods. Pure
And they let them-
chaos. Pure chaos.
Marie lets them go
Right.
do that.
And the objective, or just to ensue chaos, is to kill anyone that is not a soup. Right? That's
Correct.
so it gets weird. Where your first introduction to this is that one guy with like he was sweating. He was sweating a pool. The first guy that comes out and he's like, hey, I think he talks to Rufus
are you a
first.
soup?
Are you a soup? Duh. And he walks away. Next person, are you a soup?
I'm a professor of archaeology.
Die! And I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. Is this how they're going around killing the non-soups on camp? What's the logic here? Because I know all of them were not just going around asking, are you a soup? Are you a soup? Are you a soup? How are they targeting people? Who are they deciding to kill? Or are some students that are soups being caught in the crossfire? Which then begs the question, are you guys really doing this for the agenda? Like what's going on here?
That's like, honestly, that's what happens with a lot of all these like radical ideologies. You know, they get lost in like they say all these extremist shit, and then when they apply it, it all goes to bullshit. And people are caught in the crossfire.
Let me say this, because I think The Boys tries to kind of take some real world approaches to things. This is very much like a school shooting type of scenario where there is a target, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to get caught in the crossfire. And I thought about it today too. I was like, damn, I see what they're doing. I'm not going to say they took it too far, because The Boys is a very kind of like blunt show when it comes to hard topics. I was like, damn, it's like Columbine, just it's pure chaos. And because when you take the Boys and just take what they portray and put it to a real world sense, this is what it is,
The thing is, for me to believe that comparison, I needed them to establish that they were like the same way that they showed that one guy killing that random adjunct professor with the acid powers. I needed a confirmation of them actually killing someone there that was a soup for me to believe that, because then that shows the chaos of, they in their mind, they're only targeting non-soups, but because of the extremist ideologies and because of everything, the chaos is going around, everyone's caught in the crossfire. Their goal is the non-soups, but hey, if a couple soups also drop from this, you gotta crack some eggs to make an omelet, but they don't do that.
Then on that hand, then it becomes just almost attempted genocide because they're targeting our ethnic cleansing. They are targeting one ethnic group.
I think they could have done this whole bit at the end with the school a lot better. Because and I am seeing it as they are targeting non-soups, and that's because based on the interaction with that one guy and the adjunct professor, but then that's the only interaction you get to confirm this is how they're discerning who's a soup and who's a non-soup.
That, everyone goes into chaos. Like
right,
it becomes a free for all, and that's how it all starts. Even in all these events, once everything dies
feel like
chaos,
that's filling in the line or filling in the gaps. I can't give them that.
At least there were soups that died in that whole thing.
Yeah, there were.
I figured there had to have been, but
again, it's chaos. Everyone's gonna be caught into the crossfire.
I don't know what the purpose of it was. If I don't know. It just seems weird where it's like the soups that are caught inside of this this underground facility, they're let loose to ensue the chaos, and some of their first interactions are not just, kill only the non-soups. Let's kill everyone, because you have to assume that Emma likely would have touched everyone that was coming out of there. That's another thing. If we're gonna fill in the gaps, I'm going to fill in the gap and say Emma touched every person that was coming out of that facility and said, hunt the non-soups. Do not kill any others. Maybe she didn't say don't kill every soup.
She said something. No, didn't she say something?
She said something. I don't remember what it was, but like there was a part where she opened all the gates. I know
to Sam she said don't feel anything.
She said no, but like when they were still in the woods, when all the doors opened for the cell blocks.
I don't think she touched them.
There wasn't like an exact scene where she did it. But if we're gonna fill in the gaps of the students were likely targeted too because it's pure chaos, then I'm gonna fill in the gaps for the Emma saying, well, clearly she would have touched all of them to say target non-soups because that's Emma's goal. She doesn't want soups to die in this. She would have
touched them all, if I'm not mistaken. Like her eyes would have been bloodshot by then.
Her powers were limited because of the pills she was taking before, which she then establishes later, these pills were not there to help me or to help me with that, that whole bloodshot thing. These things were limiting my powers. So she could keep spamming them probably up to a higher limit. But I don't know, this whole bit at the end, I was kind of pulled out. I was like, this is just chaos for chaos's sake. And because like you even have some scenes where like it was super weird where like Marie, she's running in one direction to like kick off a dialogue on one part of the campus, and like not even a couple feet away from that exact spot, she runs back to another part of campus to kick off another dialogue beat. It was just, I don't know. I feel like people were running in circles in like a weird way. It wasn't for me. I didn't like the final sequence here.
Oh, I was a fan. I thought they did quite well. I mean, I think just the chaos and again of what the boys can be, and just this idea that there's these deranged soups running around killing just people, I thought was pretty crazy. I think I need to go back and watch to see all what Marie and Jordan and Andre and Emma did to actually help the situation.
If you pay attention to like where they are, like relative to like where they're standing on campus, it feels like they would run to like point A and then run back to point B and run back to point A. I don't know. It was just kind of funky. I noticed it. I was like, why are they doing this?
It's not perfect, I'll say that much, but I thoroughly enjoyed this sequence. And then it comes to a head. You got like Ashley and the other VOT members, and they're like, kill these deranged soups and you become a member of the Seven. I will fucking help you find your sister. Hurry up and kill them and save us.
Let me in before I tell them about what we did at the bathroom and the fundraiser.
Right. Again, just chaos, because it's a show, it's fun to watch this chaos just ensue and whatnot. And then You know, and I thought this was a good thing, a cool thing too, as far as, you know, they went to go hit that the safe alarm or something, or, you know, to barricade the school or hatting down the fort. Right. And but in reality, because that siren started going off and it's only affected Soups, it was interesting because it was like, this was was this a fail safe for any Soup that went bad, or was this a fail safe for all of them? Because, you know, the veil over the veil is that, you know, Dean Shetty hated Soups, and I can imagine so did Clancy Brown. I thought that was an interesting point as well. You know, the siren, remember?
Yeah, the sirens. I want to say it. I don't think it was like only a Dean Shetty type of thing where it's like, because when the alarms went off, Ashley was reassured that they were all okay, as if she's aware, like, oh, look, the alarm system, like the sound thing that puts them on their knees, it's active. We're okay. We're safe. She was saying that to the rest of them. And then that one random dude did like Sonic Boom and he shattered all of them. And now she's terrified again. Oh, well, crap. They're running now. They're running again.
I think it just adds to the layer of, they never wanted these Soups to succeed. They were here for study and control is what it is.
Right.
It's a controlled environment. They're
Correct.
It's a controlled environment in which the subjects are blinded. As simple as that.
Now, let me ask you this. When she said, get Homelander here now, did you think that was just kind of a blanket statement, as in, you know, whatever? Of course, they're going to want Homelander to come and save the day. Did you think anything of that statement?
Of the statement itself?
As in the statement is like, she says that, like, that it's just like, oh, whatever. He's not coming. They're all dead.
I don't think I understand the question.
Did you believe he would come?
Oh, so like,
when she said that, did you actually think he would show?
yeah, I thought he would show because he still has like a public image to.
I did not think he was gonna show.
I thought he was gonna show because there's like a campus full of like Soups that are just going. It's chaos. It's pure chaos. They don't have any context as to what's going on, and he's the only tank and durable character that could handle all of them, and he's on speed dial at that. So when she's saying call Homelander, it's like, yeah, calling this guy that can likely I don't think Queen Maeve's handling them. Well, I mean, Queen Maeve's not really part of the 7 anymore, but whoever's left available on the 7, they're not gonna call the Deep. They're not calling his ass to handle what's going on. So yeah, I thought he was gonna show with Homelander.
I did not think he was gonna show. So mind you, he shows up right after Marie does that badass bloodbending with the daggers and takes out and saves them on the helicopter. And then he shows.
Well, no, she does that.
He arrives after she blows up Kate's arm off.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that happened, and then he touches down, and then she's about to touch her, or touch who? Jordan. She's about to touch Jordan.
She's about to
crush them, right in the helicopter. That's what Jordan would have done, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like with his
Probably.
mag. I'm sorry, not Jordan. Andre.
No, she was gonna touch Jordan.
She was gonna touch Jordan.
Oh, it was Jordan. Okay.
Yeah.
He was gonna touch Jordan.
Okay, and then blows off the arm. What did you think was about to happen when he touched down?
I knew he wasn't.
She's got that big smile on her face.
Who does?
Marie, because she's like, this is Homelander. This is the hero.
Oh, she wasn't smile. I didn't see a
That
smile.
was a smile.
Yeah, she was relieved when she saw Homelander.
Right.
Oh, I didn't notice a smile, I guess. I thought it was just more like shock, like, oh my God,
Like,
Homelander.
it was shock, but relief as well. She was like, and then the twist where Homelander is like, you monster.
Oh, no. I knew there was a red flag as soon as he started, like, shaking his finger and walking towards her. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. What what ego is he gonna bring out? But then I remembered, because at first it felt weird, because I was like, wait, Homelander typically, like in this much of a public eye, Homelander puts on his best face, right?
But these are all soups.
So I wasn't even gonna say these were all soups. I was gonna say, well, wait a minute. He showed his true colors
And they applauded
at season 3. He killed someone and
in the rally.
And at the rally, and they applauded him. And I feel like that was the first instance of, wow, he doesn't need to like fake this anymore.
This is really good that you bring that up, because in earlier episodes of Gen V, he was on trial for that death.
Was he on? I know they mentioned it. I know that, but he was on trial.
He's on trial for that death.
Interesting.
Right. So some of those news sequences you got to go back and pay attention to. But you're right, though. They still applauded him. So
right.
if he walks away, innocent or whatever, yeah, he can get away with murder, literally.
Right. Yeah. So as soon as I saw him like just shaking his finger, I'm like, oh no, this is Psycho Homelander on the field. And I didn't know what he was gonna say. I thought he was gonna, I really don't know how he was gonna twist it, because I didn't know that he saw what Marie did to Kate. But then he brings up the line like, what kind of animal are you? And I'm like, Homelander, excuse you? What?
When he said animal, I was like, oh no.
Are we going there? Are we going there? Is this Storm? What was her name?
Stormfront.
Stormfront. Are we pulling a Stormfront here? What's going on? You weren't like this before. But it was the extra layer of how dare you do this to your own kind? We're soups. Mind you, he's killed so many soups just for no reason. I remember that scene where he killed that one guy
but he's the poster child of soup supremacy.
He killed that
soup supremacists,
which is BS.
Oh, he's definitely a hypocrite.
He's definitely a hypocrite. I remember that sign. I remember that scene where it was that one the blind superhero that was gonna join the Seven. And he's like, how do you know, like, where everything is, or like, how do you get a sense of your environment? And he's like, super hearing, Homelander. It's great to be on the team. And then Homelander's like, oh, super hearing. So wait, if I do this, boom, and he pops his ears and makes him deaf, and he's like, great, now he's useless. He's done. He ruined that guy. He might as well have killed him. But yeah, it was. He's a hypocrite and only practices his ideals when it suits his current agenda.
As all these like politicians and figureheads do in real life. Like, as simple as that. Homelander he's gonna do whatever brings him the most views, whatever brings him the most adoration.
But I think what's different now too is Vought News is such a big thing going on. They twist
keep
the story. Twisting the story. Like Newman sparked like a riot.
Like a riot.
Right. The Guardians of Godolkin, Sam and Kate, while 4 Godolkin students went on a murder spree. Jordan, Andre, Emma, and Marie. This is wild at this point. Not to mention Homelander straight up blasts Marie with his eyes.
She blocks it with her hands.
I don't know if she blocked it, but they said she ate it like a champ.
Yeah.
Which is
so I guess it didn't penetrate her.
I didn't like this last bit either.
If you use Marie's powers as to what she can do, it can make sense how she can maybe survive the blast.
Well, I can like probably theorize like, multiple ways as to how she could have survived. It's just it's so hard to do a satisfying cliffhanger, because this was a cliffhanger, more or less, a cliffhanger season. And I know some people their, I guess, their acceptance to certain cliffhanger endings is going to vary across like different like forms of entertainment. I wasn't too big on this cliffhanger ending just because I feel like the grand plot that was going on with this particular story, it wasn't resolved. And I thought there was another like 10 minutes left of the episode.
It was a short episode.
It was a
very short episode.
It was a very short episode. So then when I saw the credits roll, and there were some after credit scenes, so, you know, like at the end, Butcher doing his Butcher thing, walking through the woods. Right. That was fine, but like I needed a little more from a season finale, especially with the show, which, I mean, this is more or less like a season 3.5, like we've been saying. And there's no resolution as to a lot of the hanging plot threads, like with Kate's sister. I'm sorry, not Kate's sister, Marie's sister. What happened to the 4 students that, you know, Vought is saying are the ones that saved Godolkin. The whole thing with Kate blocking the power, like you're there wondering like, well, wait, what does she do? How does she take it? And then where are they at right now? What are they gonna do to them?
Well, let's talk about it. The creators have already come out and said this will bleed into season 4, meaning, you know, I mean, Butcher is here in the woods, so either the boys are investigating everything that happened at Godolkin. Maybe Butcher and the boys are going to be looking for Marie and crew. But with that said, what we do not know is that will Gen V bleed into, well, I mean, as far as the characters, you know, will Marie and crew be an active part in The Boys season 4? Because
right.
Actually, I went back and looked at that ending scene, the no windows. I mean, Emma's sipping on a smoothie. They look to be, and obviously they're in like hospital gowns, so they're being taken care of. They might be in good hands. Maybe they got picked up by Newman. Maybe they got picked up by the boys. Maybe they were being taken to a max prison, and someone busted them out. You know. Because all there's a hatch. There's a hatch on top of the ceiling. So meaning, what I mean is, will they have events that happen to them in season 4 that then leads into season 2 of Gen V, which has been greenlit, that will then pick up those loose threads? Or will those loose threads be explored in The Boys season 4? I don't know. I have no idea. I hope they have an arc in season 4. You know, I hope there is at least kind of let's bust them out type of story going on, and then leave the rest of their story to season 2 of Gen V. That's what I want, because I would not want to wait a year. I don't want to do this back and forth. It's like I've been saying with like Game of Thrones type of storytelling. These characters should be able to interact and then go off and do their own stories. You know, that's what I always feel is the really good way of telling stories. But I understand The Boys is already pretty crowded, you know. So if you want to give Gen V their own series, I understand that. But I do think the Gen V kids should be able to come and go from The Boys storyline. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think they could. I don't see why they could not, especially if they're gonna bleed in, or their plot threads are gonna bleed into season 4. It's just a question of, are they going to be utilized in season 4, or is it more or less they're going to be used in a transitional sense? So like how it happened here, where Homelander smashes in from the ceiling and says, "This is The Boys. The Boys is real." and that's how you know, oh, that's right, I'm watching The Boys. And now we get season 4. I don't know. That's where I was gonna double back on. Remember we said we were gonna put a pin on it? I was like, I know the real reason why you like this.
Why?
This week, and I'm sure you recall, we've been betrayed so much by certain news about the MCU, and it's heart-wrenching to learn about some of the details we learned this week. that I subconsciously
Details like what? For the audience that does not know about said details.
details like
Save it for the Marvel part. We're doing the Marvel.
it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. The MCU's a
We'll
mess
save
right
it.
now.
We'll tell you more
of the week.
Loki finales next week too.
Of
Probably
the
gonna do that too.
of the week of what's it called? The October 30th to November 3rd. It's been of 2023. It's been a chaotic week for MCU fans, and we all know here that Grandmaster Hoop is an avid fan of the MCU. So naturally, Grandmaster Hoop felt betrayed by these recent news of the MCU. So Grandmaster, I think subconsciously you were trying to find a void to fill in that hole that was left with the MCU. And you found it. You found, as soon as Homelander smashed in from the ceiling, MCU style, you found it with, oh my God, this is what I needed. The connectivity, the BCU, the boys universe. This is what I need. Screw the MCU. This is where we are now. I think this is why you liked the boys,
Causation
Gen V, as much as you did.
Causation does not equal correlation at all.
It's the other way around.
But go off.
I have the puzzle pieces, and I'm putting them together, and they're fitting very well. Dr. Mondo agrees with me, and listen, he has his diagnosis. Go, Dr. Mondo, lay down your diagnosis.
Wait, what? Whoa.
Is it MCU withdrawal syndrome?
I think you're reading too much into this.
Thank you,
Dr.
Moving
J.
on.
That he feels betrayed of the MCU. Yes. That he finally realizes how mid it is. Yes. But to subconsciously latch on to the BCU, or the BPU, the Boys Prime verse, I think that's a stretch.
Moving on.
We'll schedule an appointment, not to worry.
Any more predictions for season 4 of The Boys, which debuts
or season? There is no release date.
But 2024 though.
It's gonna be like early or mid 2024.
Typically,
I'm fine with 2024. I just no 2025.
It's gonna be 2024.
Yeah, their typical release schedule of The Boys is usually like summer of 2024, like May, June, July.
Right.
Bleeds into August a little bit. I'm assuming around that time period. In terms of like predictions, I mean, this is why I need recaps at the beginning of every season to any show. The last thing I remember from The Boys was, Homelander revealed his true colors, and I thought Butcher was sick, deathly ill.
Butcher has sick. Terminal cancer.
Right.
Because of Temp V.
Right, yeah. I remember that. I thought he was like deathly ill though, like he couldn't like leave like a hospital bed or something.
No. Like he left the hospital bed.
He had to recover.
He had to recover, but he left the hospital.
I just saw him up and about at the end of this season. I'm like, wait, you look fine.
He's still alive. He's just gonna die. He's on borrowed time.
If he keeps taking Temp V, he's gonna die.
No. Like he is gonna die. Period. Like
right, I thought that was the end of season 3 where they said it's irreversible. Like you are going to die. But you abuse Temp V too much. We warned you in the beginning. Stop using it. It's going to be harmful. We don't know what its side effects are. And then at the end of season 3, it's like, well, you done goofed. We kept telling you to stop. Now you got the big C.
No, but I think Boys season 4 for sure. Like Marie, Emma, and Andre and Jordan are all going to be involved for sure. And like I think piggybacking on what I was saying at the beginning, I think like we've always seen that all the soups are bought by Vought. All of them belong to Vought. But now you have a couple of rogue soups. Like, other than Kimiko and Starlight, like, now you have a group, like a legit group of rogue soups.
I do want to see
and that's something that's very interesting in seeing how they tackle Vought.
I do want to see them bring back that virus with Newman.
That virus is like, also Newman, if I'm not mistaken, she won vice president.
Vice president of what?
Of the US.
Oh no, she's running for vice president.
She won?
I think she won. I think she wins, if I'm not mistaken, because the Deep, like, I think the Deep helps her out. But either it's like she now has the virus, so she wants obviously to become president. She wants to become the most politically powerful person in the world, and she's a soup that the general public does not know, and she has access to this virus.
Oh no, she's still a congresswoman though. Just a congresswoman.
She's still a congresswoman? Oh, but she's running for VP.
Yes, I think.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
I don't know where I got it from that she won, but either way, she has her aim for higher political power.
Yes.
And the virus is her way of keeping the soups in check. Granted, she is a soup, but at the same time, one of the things, her power makes her perfect to counteract that virus. Like, she controls blood. She controls blood. It's like she can pretty much make herself immune to that virus. She can clot it off. It's like, so that is her trump card. That is her ace.
She can also save people. You're right.
Who
might contract it.
One, that she can make herself kind of like the messiah of the soups, or she can just keep all the soups in check with that virus. She can keep Homelander in check with that virus.
She can. I feel like the virus is going to play her. I feel like that's going to be one of the wild cards.
She has a lot of aces and saying, like, go against me and I'll kill you with this virus.
It's definitely going to be a wild card in season 4, I feel like. In terms of things that carry over and play a major role, I don't know if they're going to use the characters of Marie, and the rest of them throughout season 4, but I feel like that virus...
they're going to play a role.
I don't even know if they're going to play a role, to be honest. It just how it was done here in Gen V, how it just focused on the characters of the students, and then they used the boys' main cast as a transition to go into the main series. I would like to see them utilized in the show, but I don't think they're going to. But if they don't use the characters, I don't mind them using like elements of the story that occurred in the show Gen V to kick off like the main series, like the virus. I think that virus is going to play a huge role in the next season.
Ooh, if you can weaponize it too.
That's the thing.
You can weaponize it, yeah. Screw it being a contagion. Just use it kind of like
X-Men 3.
Yes, X-Men 3. I was thinking X-Men 3, the GOAT.
Terrible. Yeah. Oh, God,
X-Men 3 done well, but I think they're gonna play a role. Maybe not like in the entire series, by the entire season, but I'm pretty sure they're going to appear. I would say in the later half of season 4, and they're gonna play some kind of role there, and that's how like season 4 of The Boys is gonna lead into season 2 of Gen V. Like, I think they're not gonna play a role in the beginning, maybe in the middle, but at the end, they're gonna play a role for sure.
Transitional in a way.
Like the last 2, maybe tops 3 episodes, they're likely going to be kind of like in cahoots with the boys. In cahoots. And that's gonna lead to Gen V season 2. And just and this is me asking a question because I really don't know. So the boys, have the creators kind of teased how long do they want it to be?
Don't think so.
I feel like at one
'Cause-
point
they might have.
have.
Yeah.
Because like if we're going to like maybe like a 5th season, and that's
We'll-
gonna be like the end.
We'll definitely get a 5th season.
Yeah, we're definitely
Uh,
gonna get a 5th season because like there's still like ground to cover. But I feel it's like I think Gen V is gonna be like a 2-season show. And obviously like Gen V
So-
season 2 is gonna lead into season 5.
According
And I think
to,
season 5 might be the end of the boys.
According to Eric Kripke, who is
Or I might be wrong.
the
That's what I
creator of the boys, right? Eric Kripke.
Yeah.
Kerpke.
He said while there's no 5th season that's been officially announced, the season 4 finale will not be the series finale, and there will be more. So at the very least,
season
you
5.
are getting a season 5. It's just a matter of, are they gonna wrap it up in season 5 or season 6, 7? I imagine if you like, because that's the thing too, it's really hard to gauge even from like the source material, like how much is there left, because the version of the boys on television
they really went off script.
is so vastly different from the comics that it's like, and it's done exceptionally better in the show compared to the comics. I don't know. We'll have to see. At the very least, we're getting 5 seasons, so there's that. That'll be fun.
It'll be fun. And that's what the boys is.
Final
It's
score.
Oh, score. I mean, I think Gen V is a fun romp. It is not without flaw. I think it's a solid like 8.5 viewing.
Agreed.
For sure.
I'm in an 8.5.
Like I don't think it's better than any season of The Boys.
Oh yeah, like the boys are all 9s. The boys are all 9s.
Right.
Yeah.
9.5, and I would say season 3 for me is a 10. But yeah.
Arguably, yeah. You can argue it.
I thought
yeah,
they're going to be a lot higher
what do you want me-
with Gen V.
Oh no. It's still I mean it compared to the rest of the boys, I don't think it tops any of
It
the
doesn't.
boys.
It
No, it
doesn't.
But I still applaud it for this type of storytelling where you run parallel to your main your parent series. So
Okay.
I really like how they handled that. They did a good job.
Yeah, it's an 8 for me. It's good. It was fun. I like it. Some
8 is a B.
8 is a B.
8 is
Y'all
a
give it an
B.
8.5. That's a B plus.
No, that's a solid B.
No, yours
like-
is a B minus. This is an 8.5 is a
I-
solid B.
I'm
But
giving
hey,
it.
but
I'm
hey,
giving it
Brent-
some tough love. Tough
But
love.
hey, Dr. Jace, we gotta say it. He gave it a better score than Quantum Mania.
Oh, that is true. Better than Quantum Mania.
Oh, can we just move on?
No,
maybe
that will
when you
always-
recover from this.
That's the day that lives in infamy for
Yeah, it's
us.
such an annoying day, but whatever. All right, are we done here?
Yeah.
Got everything out up from Gen V. Do we all feel like
Yeah.
products of VOT? Do we feel like
I
we're
don't
just
have
out-
superpowers?
Nah, I'm part of the rogues.
You're
I'm
part
gonna
of the rogues. Okay.
I'm gonna call them the rogues.
All right, that's all right. We got rogues, we got VOT, and then we got them boys. I'm part of the boys. But goodness gracious, gentlemen, that was a lot of fun here talking about Gen V. And thank you to everybody listening at home. But that's all we got for Gen V. Catch it on Amazon Prime. Make sure you watch it before The Boys Season 4 comes out 2024. Stay tuned. Invincible on deck. So make sure you tune into Invincible. We will be back for some more Amazon Prime superhero goodness. But of course, thank you for listening on all of your various podcast stations. Thank you for all our social media support, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube with Dr. Jace and the Grandmaster Hoop funded Spider-Man 2 playthrough. I'm glad y'all are enjoying all that. And of course, if you heard anything that you care to disagree with, whether it's the characterization of Sam's eventual turn to bad, or Dr. Mondo's I don't know, anything we discuss on The Boys. If you don't like what you heard, come and discourse with us in the Discord in the link below. It's there. Come join us. We will bat it out with you like you heard Dr. Mondo and Dr. Jace today. I was a mediator today, but that's all right. We'll gladly bat it out with you. But with that said, folks, I'm your host, Grandmaster Hoop, fellow Yonko, Dr. Jace Attorney, and of course, Supernova, Dr. Mondo.